Restoring an abandoned Jeep Rubicon Premium 2026 is more than simply fixing a vehicle. It is a journey of patience, craftsmanship, and attention to detail. When the Jeep Rubicon Premium 2026 was first discovered, it looked like a forgotten machine lost to time. Thick mud had swallowed the tires. Leaves and debris had gathered across the hood, and the once vibrant firecracker red paint was barely visible beneath layers of dirt and grime. The surrounding forest was silent except for the gentle sound of wind moving through the trees. At first glance, it seemed impossible that this powerful off-road vehicle could ever return to its former glory. The restoration process began with a careful inspection. Every part of the Jeep Rubicon Premium 2026 had to be examined closely to understand the level of damage caused by long exposure to moisture, mud, and rust. The tires were deflated and deeply buried in mud. The suspension components were coated with hardened dirt, and several metal parts showed early signs of corrosion. Before any restoration work could begin, the vehicle needed to be safely recovered from the swampy terrain where it had been abandoned. Using heavy recovery equipment and reinforced tow cables, the Jeep Rubicon Premium 2026 was slowly pulled free from the mud that had trapped it for so long. The process required precision and patience to avoid damaging the structure of the vehicle. As the Jeep finally rolled onto solid ground, chunks of dried mud fell from the undercarriage. For the first time in a long while, the full shape of the Jeep Rubicon Premium 2026 began to reappear. Once transported to the workshop, the real restoration work started. The first step involved a thorough cleaning process. High-pressure water jets were used to remove thick layers of mud from the body panels, wheels, and suspension components. As the water washed away the dirt, the original firecracker red color slowly returned. Streams of muddy water flowed across the floor of the workshop while the powerful spray revealed the rugged lines of the Jeep once again. After the exterior cleaning, attention shifted toward removing rust and grime from metal components. Specialized tools and brushes carefully scrubbed the affected areas, restoring the strength and integrity of the steel parts. Each bolt and joint was inspected to ensure it remained safe and functional. Any parts that could not be repaired were carefully removed and prepared for replacement. The interior of the Jeep Rubicon Premium 2026 required just as much attention. Mud had been tracked across the floor. Dust covered the dashboard, and the once comfortable seats had become stiff with dirt. The restoration team began by vacuuming every corner of the cabin. Soft brushes and cleaning solutions were used to restore the leather surfaces. Gradually, the interior transformed from a neglected space into a clean and welcoming environment. Mechanical components also needed detailed inspection. The engine system was carefully checked, with old fluids drained and replaced with fresh lubricants. Filters were changed, electrical connections were cleaned, and damaged wiring was repaired. These steps ensured the Jeep Rubicon Premium 2026 would not only look new but also perform like a powerful off-road machine once again. One of the most visually satisfying stages of the restoration was the repainting process. Even though the Jeep originally carried the bold firecracker red color, the paint surface had become dull and scratched over time. The body panels were sanded smoothly to prepare them for fresh paint. Multiple layers of premium automotive coating were applied carefully, allowing the iconic firecracker red finish to shine brighter than ever before. Under the workshop lights, the polished surface reflected every detail with stunning clarity. After the painting stage was completed, the process moved into reassembly. Every cleaned or newly replaced component was carefully installed back onto the Jeep Rubicon Premium 2026. The wheels were mounted securely, the suspension was aligned, and the polished body panels were fitted perfectly into place. Piece by piece, the vehicle came together like a puzzle being solved. The final moment of the restoration arrived when the Jeep Rubicon Premium 2026 was ready to leave the workshop. The engine started with a powerful yet smooth sound, echoing through the space as if announcing its return. The vehicle slowly rolled forward into daylight, its firecracker red paint glowing under the sun. On an open road surrounded by mountains, the fully restored Jeep Rubicon Premium 2026 stood proudly. The headlights illuminated the road ahead, while the polished body reflected the warm colors of the sunset. What once appeared to be a forgotten and abandoned machine had been transformed into a stunning Example of engineering and restoration craftsmanship. The journey from mud-covered ruin to shining off-road. Icon proves that with dedication, patience, and the right expertise, even the most neglected vehicles can be brought back to life. The Jeep Rubicon Premium. 2026 now stands ready for new adventures, stronger and more impressive than ever before.